LGBT Cuba. Did you know that 66% of Cubans voted in favor of putting gay marriage into the Constitution? That's a pretty big contrast from here in the US, where gay marriage is decided by a Supreme Court of unelected officials, and the LGBTQ community is used as a scapegoat to further a right-wing economic agenda. Did you know that the Cuban government has been paying for gender reassignment surgeries for trans people since 2008? That is also very different from how it is here in the United States, where trans rights are currently under attack, and the government is trying to make gender-affirming care illegal in many states, and we're not even close to having a real discussion about free healthcare. Fidel Castro's niece, Mariela Castro, has been a huge advocate for not just LGBT rights, but LGBT education. She's the current director and one of the founders for the Cuban National Center for Sex Education in Havana. Here in the US, they're trying to outlaw education about LGBTQ topics. In Florida, they're trying to outlaw drag shows. But in Havana, they have drag shows every Saturday at a state-owned gay club. So instead of all the profits going to some rich white gay guy or some straight developer who doesn't give a crap about gay people, the state can take the profits from the club and invest it in services that the LGBTQ community needs, like housing, education, and HIV treatment. And by the way, Cuba has one of the lowest rates of HIV. Despite the US's best efforts. That's right, the US embargo was actually blocking HIV medication and even condoms from entering Cuba during the height of the HIV crisis. So the next time you hear that Cuba's homophobic, think about how the US sacrificed gay Cuban lives to further their political agenda. And think about the bigger picture. Sure, the Cuban government had discriminatory practices in the past. That's because the government was for the people, and the people were homophobic, just like they were everywhere else in the world at the time. I'm from Texas, and I've personally witnessed a hate crime where someone's legs were broken with a metal pipe in a Target parking lot. I know what homophobia looks like. But I also know that the solution to homophobia isn't an economic embargo. The solution to homophobia is actually a more vibrant economy where people can travel and get good educations and learn about our differences. We need to live in a world that opens more doors and doesn't shut them.